Okay, so now it's November 10th, the next day, right? 2022. I'm in my sewing room, aka War Room 2. And I'm really making an effort here to make some room so I can actually do something. But I don't like anything dusty, so I'm like pulling shit out, double checking, wiping things down, you know, spider webs, right? What's in here is a whole bunch of petty point thread. Lots of it. It's really, really nice. But that's not something that I'm going to be using anytime soon. So we'll save it for Leia May, maybe. Alright? Assuming my kids don't throw it out. Seriously. Because they're stupid sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I just wanted to show you what I'm doing here. And you're probably thinking, I'm a freaking scatterbrain. The way my sewing room looks like right now, I wanted to show you. Because what's going to happen here is, I have a dressmaking form here. I'm going to have to bring up another one. This is not the one that I particularly like. It's okay. This is for a larger girl. I need something a little smaller. Ideally, I like to have 2 to 3 dressmaking forms going at one time. No, I mean, obviously I'll never get 3 in this place. I think I used to have 2 in here. And then I moved one down, and anyway. Okay, so I'm going to move that particular dressmaking form into this corner, and I'm moving out all of this. I'm going to put it into pretty much that corner. I got up underneath in here. Just, you know, these bins in there. That's all fabric in there, right? I got musical instruments. There's one that needs to be repaired. Just whatever, okay? I don't have a lot of room. Notice that lock? I had to put a lock on that. Because back in the day, Shimei had one of her girlfriends stay here for a little while. Alright? Should have known better, people. Anyway, we took off, and she didn't want to come with us, so we left her in the house. Long story short, she ended up getting into my sewing room here, and she got into there, and she took a lot of shit. She probably took about $3,000-4,000 worth of, like, sequin trim and beads and who knows. And anyway, whatever. Troubled teen. So I put a lock on it, and then Sierra, too, got in there. But she came in through the back of the wall unit and took out the back, took out the nails, and went in that way. I could tell, right? Anyway, I haven't been in there, oh God, I don't even know, people. 4 or 5 years. So I never get a chance to sew. Working on those lawsuits for Uncle John, and then Shimei, and just whatever, just took over my life when I wasn't working in the yard, and looking after Amari, and being that dish maid, you know, and that workhorse, right? Okay, so anyway. So now we know I'll probably have to go downstairs into the business room, and more than likely bring up a different mannequin, but for now we're just going to move, because this one goes from a 8 to a 12, and I like an 8 to a 10, and yeah, so it's made different, right? This one is different. Anyway, I'm gonna move this over here, get this out of here, so that when I start sewing, I have a drop, because, you know, depending on what I'm sewing and stuff, and just whatever. So, but I just want you to see the sewing room, because you probably think I'm a scatterbrain. You know, I have been somewhat in this house because it's just too small, all in all. But look at this. Look what I've done. I didn't make it better. I made it worse. Don't you think? If that's not being a scatterbrain, I don't know what is. It's because I'm going to just move some of this out. Like, just like these things. I don't know where I'm going to put them, but This is nice black walnut wood. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I'm just plugging away at it here. Alright. Okay. So, you know, when you have OCD, to which I kind of have, I mean, obviously my kids ruined it for me, because when you have kids, they scatter everything around and basically give you a nervous breakdown year after year. It never really seems to go away. You know, even in death, they stress you out. Well, so anyway, I have to wipe things down. If I'm gonna get in here and start doing anything, and I want to, right? That's why I turned on the camera, to talk about it. Okay? You know, it's been too many years. I've been waiting too long, and now I'm on a Charlie watch with it. So, but before I can really get going on anything, you know, I don't want to go and touch dust and grit and just, you know, things that settle over a period of time. Not that this is really dusty, but I can feel it. You know, it's been sitting here for forever. I don't know if you can see it. Where's my thumb? Yeah. See, I can even see that. I hate that shit. Right? So, I'm just going through this and wiping on the outside of my containers and trying to familiarize myself what's in them, because I've forgotten, and trying to figure out what I'm going to do with it, and, right? So I'm wondering, like, my goal for the day, although I'm not happy with this dressmaking form, that's not the one that I thought was up here. And honestly, I don't think I want to go downstairs and dig around for another one, because I've got like 5 more or something like that downstairs. Because I used to sew a lot, right? I'd start off with 5 meters of fabric and another 2 to 5 more meters of fabric, so anywhere from 7 to 10 meters of fabric with 3 different dressmaking forms, and I'd make guaranteed 3 different outfits minus any miscellaneous stuff left over from the scraps. Okay, that's what I used to do, and I'd go through that shit like water. Yeah. Anyway, I have costumes downstairs that need to be revamped or sold as is. We're gonna start with this yellow thing that's been hanging here forever, and we're gonna cut it and we're gonna change it. I'm thinking what I can do with it. Right, it was just back in 2000, and I think it was 5, when I was living in that shanty shack. I just wanted to try different things, and I didn't want nothing holding me back, and I just did what I wanted to do. And then I did some fashion shows with them. I sold a few of them, and then they just basically just been hanging for like since 2005, what's ever left behind. Right, you know, I've been raided with them and just whatever. There's some nice stuff still in there, right? So, you know, I'm thinking, well, you know, how can you sell them, right? Like, right? And I'm like, well, maybe you could do an auction. That's why I turn on the camera. But the problem with that, though, is, like, anytime you try and do anything like that online in terms of sell things, and, you know, all of a sudden you get this crab barrel mentality that it latches onto you and makes it so that you can't sell nothing. Like with YouTube, right? You know, you can't really sell things on YouTube. You can't promote your business on YouTube, per se. Or at least my kind of business, right? Because they shadow ban me, and, and it's just... So, I don't know. Maybe I'll try and use Facebook or something. See, this is a can. Whatever is inside is nice, but the can is grimy because it's been sitting here for years. So, I I'm wiping things down and opening up to see what's inside some of this stuff, because I forgot, right? Because I haven't been using it regularly, right? When you're using all the time different things, you know where things are. Well, what is this? Just junk. This is just junk. Just belt buckle junk, just junk. What else is in here? Oh, this is nice. That's junk. Isn't that nice though? That's nice junk. From what I can see, yeah, I'd wear that. It looks like it's in good shape too. Wonder if I could even get it on my wrist. Oh wait, hey. See, that's what I mean. You don't know what you're gonna find. I got some of the coolest stuff. Look at this. Isn't that nice? That is nice. Let me turn on the flashlight and take a good look at it. From what I can tell, it's nice. Feels good. What is that? I can't tell the metal. I can't see the color of the metal. Probably a brass or something. But that is nice. Look at that. I'm glad I opened up this can. What else is in here? Oh, see? Junk. That's a little drum. Look, see? Look at this. This is nice. This is nice stuff. It's perfectly fine. Look at that. That's beautiful. I wonder if it's missing any of its rhinestones. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think so. You've got look like something dark in the middle with kind of pinky red ones on the side. Look at that. Do you see that? That is nice, people. Like, what do I do with it? I got stuff nicer than that. You don't know. What else is in here? It's just junk. I can't even see half of it though. That's the problem. All blurring in together. What is this? I don't know. See, some of this stuff is just junk. When you make costumes, you use these little things for decorations and stuff, right? Does this one work? I don't know. Well, I picked out 2 of the nicest things. The rest of it just seems to be miscellaneous little bits and ends of whatever. Because I don't like a wall plug. I don't like to throw things out because you might need it. Obviously the wall plug doesn't belong in there. But, you know, it's just something that I did. Oh, why are we not surprised? We went through this with my bedroom. This one seems to have no back on it though. But the strap is good. Right? Makes me think of my grandfather, right? When he worked at the sweatshop. And all those men would leave their watches behind. And he had can after can full of watches. Yeah. And then that's how I started with cans. That's why I got cans everywhere. What is this? Just a little pair of scissors. Okay. So anyway, I got what was most important out of there. Everything else seems to be really kind of whatever, but this is nice. I don't even know why that was in there. I don't know why that was in there, but it was. So why don't we just put that around my head? I'll wear that for a little while. But yeah, like, I wonder if I could do a little auction or something on Facebook with a starting bid. Okay, so if I want $100 or 150 or 200 for an outfit, whatever that outfit is, we'll start off with that, right? Right? And if only one person says, okay, I'll buy it, then so be it. If they want to bid on it, they can bid on it. But how do you do that? Like, and if you do that, how do you know you're not going to be freaking harassed? Where's my coffee? How do you know, right? The people accusing you of this and accusing you of that, and like, whatever. Like, fuck off, man. You know? The government come in. Well, you can't do that. You know, you got to be charging GST. What? On something that's been hanging in a closet since 2005 that... right? Like, I don't think so. Right? Let me get back my money that I invested into the fabric and everything, and a little bit for my time, and, you know, for crying out loud, right? Let somebody else be happy, right? You know? This is what I'm looking for. Look at these. These are nice. Nice, nice, nice. Got other ones in here, too. See? I need them when I start working with the leather and stuff. And I do kind of want to get back into a few little outfits or something. I'm not sure yet. It depends how much I can see. I kind of want to motivate Tisha to get maybe a little interested in sewing something. Who knows? I kind of want to chop up these costumes that I have that I want to chop up. And just move on and do something else with them, and, you know? Otherwise, no, who knows what's going to happen to them. So that's why I'm kind of like really making it. That's why I'm kind of like really making an effort just to take shit out of here and make it so I can actually move in here and do something. I want to get into this white wall unit. I know that, like, there's tons of beads in there, like you can't imagine. All kinds of crazy crap in there. I got beautiful sequins trim in my bedroom, like you don't know, a whole trunk full. Really nice. Yeah, we're talking thousands of dollars, and that's what wasn't stolen, because, again, I had 2 people steal from this wall unit. I don't know about my bedroom per se, as it was the sewing room, but because I tried to keep my bedroom locked, right? But even still, you know, when you get a thief in the house, they're sneaky, right? Here's a nice long empty can. Alright, might be good for something. So I keep them. As I need them, I use them. But I don't like crap. So yeah, I wonder, you know, could you auction off something like that? Starting bid? $10? $10. $10. Pay $10, you get it. And you pay shipping. I don't know. Maybe it's something to think about. Maybe I'll gather up. Here's an idea. Because they used to kind of do that kind of stuff on Facebook, right? But it was like through a company, and I guess people would like franchise out the jewelry, you know? They'd sign on as a partner and purchase X amount of jewelry, and then they'd go on Facebook and they'd have their numbers, and, you know, they'd do their little orders and whatever. Right? Maybe I can gather up 20 things in the next little while. I don't know what those 20 things are, but I'll just gather up, we'll just say 10 or 20 things. I'll number them. I'll put a price on them, a starting price on them. And then maybe I'll plan for Facebook Live or something with the crew, right? Just with the crew. Just fool around with it. Nobody has to buy anything. We just need to go through the exercise to see if it could even work. And then maybe that's an alternative, right? For me to move things along. But it's hard to say. So let me turn this off and just continue. I want to move, I guess, this dressmaking form over here because I really want to take this yellow thing and just put it on a dressmaking form so I can see. I know what it looks like because I made it, but I want to change it. I want to cut it. I want to revamp it, right? I want to make it more sexy, right? And then I want to try and sell it. How I sell it, I don't know. It might never, because I just don't have that kind of networking. And, you know, people will make it hard for me because it's that crab barrel mentality. You know, somebody will try and pull down that American flag or whatever it is, tell you how to run your park event, show up out of nowhere, and they're telling you what to do, even though they never put not even one red penny into the whole thing and really don't care about the community. So, you know, step off. So, you know, I'm thinking, well, if you get what you want and it goes past the bid, right? Let's just say, I could donate the rest, I suppose, to the foundation if I wanted to, for what it was worth. But for as much as the foundation owes me $40,000 on the low ball, you know, like, give your head a shake, right? As if you can afford to lose money and you're still like probably $37,000 in debt. But when you get to the point where soon none of it's going to matter, right? You know, just so the best thing I can do right now is just try and clear the shit out, because the faster I can get a lot of this more cleared out, the faster I can get into working with the leather and, you know, working on those leg braces. And I've got fabric here to make for Amari for like little pants and, you know, fleece pants, tops, whatever. I've got pajama material in here. I want to do a few more do-rags if I can, right? You know, I want to definitely do some underpieces. I want to get into the old costumes, chop them up, whatever, get them out there. You know, just because nobody takes the you know, you can do the auction doesn't mean anybody will come and buy anything, but you can, you know, you can try and auction it off, and if it doesn't auction off, you can maybe try it again in 2 months from now, right? Just add in more things into the pile, right? Because I've got a lot of shit in here that my kids aren't going to want. And if they do, you know, they're not going to know what to do with it. Or like Marcane said, oh, well, don't worry, Marina will give stuff away. I said, Marina, that's his girlfriend, I said, Marina's going to give away my sewing stuff. Well, no, she sews too, Mom. She'll keep some. What about Alea May? You know, she's going to grow up. She's going to want some of this stuff. Right? You know? Tisha's only interested in it if Tisha likes it. If Tisha herself personally doesn't like it, then it's, get rid of it. Right? I can't live with that kind of an attitude. It's like taking your nails on a chalkboard and you're like, all right? It's so irritating. You know, like that wall plug in the can. That wall plug might be just the savior when you're needing it, right? To do what you need to do, to which I'm always using wall plugs for one reason or another. Well, not always, but, you know, there's actually a couple of things that I do need to put up that require wall plugs. So now I don't even know where I put that wall plug. I'll have to keep an eye open for it, because that was a good one. Maybe I put it back in the can. Who knows? But my kids would just throw out the wall plug. Right? I'm like... That's like when I die, I won't be stressed out about shit like that no more. Alright? Okay, so hold on a minute.
Okay, so average size girls that I used to sew for were between 8 and 12 American size, right? Every now and then you'd get a size 6, right? Or, you know, a little bigger than a 12, right? Because you get the tall girls, eh? This you're pushing into a 10 and a 12. You can see this is not... I don't know how this yellow thing is going to work on here, but we're going to put it on here and see what happens, right? I mean, maybe I can make this just a little slightly smaller. I don't know yet. And then all this stuff here, because I want to get in there, right? Don't get mad. Whatever you do, that's the secret to life. Just don't get mad. Just pace yourself through it. You'll get through it. Okay, so anyway, all this is pretty much going to be stacked up in here, and of course that's where my babies are, right? That's War Room 1 with the plants growing, right? And you can see it's all nicely. All right. So let me just get on with it. Okay, so now it is November, I think it's the 11th of 2022, no, the 12th. I think today's the 12th, 2022. What's the matter, Amari? I turn on the camera and you start whining? Why? Anyway, I'm in, hold on a second. Okay, so as you can see, it still looks like a war room, don't you think? I'm just sorting out shit, rearranging it, taking stuff out. Yeah, I'm having a hard time with it though, obviously, because it's too small. It's always been too small. And kind of went dormant for a long, long time. But you can see I'm just wiping things down. Here's my bucket of water. Right? Yeah. And just moving things, organizing it so I know where things are. Right? Make it easier for myself. So this is where I'm at with it right now. We'll see how much I accomplish throughout the day. But I have to go get some beef fat. Right? And pork fat. And it's freezing outside. So I don't know how I'm going to do that. Because I'm still doing the animal fats, right? Because I plan on making beef pot pie and those kind of things. He's just being fussy because I go over there and he'll start laughing. You watch and see. Yeah, I gave him toys, everything. He's just being, I don't know, Mr. Pickly. Why are you being pickly? What's your problem? What's the matter with you? Huh? Why are you complaining? Why? Why are you complaining? Huh? Tell me. You want attention? Is that it? Amari, what are you doing? You're supposed to be sleeping. As your mother would say. Yeah, you're supposed to be sleeping. Well, why are you being a Mr. Pickly? Yeah, exactly. You see, he's not. He's just being whatever, right? Mr. Pickly? Are you being a Mr. Pickly? Amari, what are you doing? You're supposed to be sleeping, as your mother would say. Amari, what are you doing? Pestering Nana. It's too early in the morning. I got a long day ahead of me, people. Okay. Like a long day. I'm not gonna quit though. I'm determined to do this. I had to order, I don't know. I'm gonna try them out. I wanted to get a floodlight in here, but I couldn't. I don't know what to buy. So I ended up settling for something that, because it's so dark, I can't see shit. Right? You can see, I can't see. Here, hold on. Here we go. Okay, so I'll be back. Oh, look what I just found. I have one of these. I think I have one downstairs. I've got one in War Room 1. And obviously I put this here so that when I work with fabrics, I can put them under the black light to see if they glow, right? I got another one over here. I got another one over there. It's right in there. And then I've got these little hand ones that you can just run over, right? So, now I don't need black lights in here as much as I like to think that I'm going to be doing whatever, because I've got already, okay? So maybe what I'll do is I'll just put some light bulbs in here, and this might help with this corner, so hold on. And yeah, I'm like, it's all dusty, and there's cobwebs, and, you know, so I think I'm pulling everything out. I'm just creating work for myself. That's all I'm doing, people. Okay? But I'm organizing it, trying to, right? So, I need something to stand up the leather, and, you know, I've got bolts of fabric over there, and, you know, maybe if I just change things up a little bit, right? Like I plan on clearing off a lot of this. Don't ask me where I'm going to put it. I'm working on it, right? You know? So, you know, I'm trying to decide what's most important to keep out, and you know, and what am I going to do with this shit? I can't even see half of it anymore. I used to be able to see what was in there, but everything's so dark now. You know, you need floodlights. I can't be putting up floodlights in here. Like huge floodlights, like the factory kind of floodlights. That's the kind I want, but I'm like, well, maybe that's just a bit extreme. So anyway, I just found this, so I thought that was pretty cool. So I'll just change the light bulbs and see how it looks. Hold on. So, kind of obnoxious. Not that it makes much of a difference, because it really doesn't. But I'm still happy that I have that. It helps a little bit, right? So, I'm thinking just to cut to the chase. It's been years since I've done anything with this. So I'm just going to pull it all out, dust it as I go, wipe everything down. Just take a boo in here. Not that I remember what's in there, but... And then I'm just going to put bolts of fabric. Well, I've got to be careful what I put here. But I can put something here that... like these are to make patterns with. These down here. So some of these things can stay. But I don't need the umbrella in here, and I don't need these in here, and I'm trying to take out things that bottom when my kids were around. People were supposed to be out in the back having barbecues around the fire pit, okay? Didn't work out like that. Why did my life not work out like that? What do you think? Anyway, some of this stuff, I don't know what this is. I found a cane, but it needs to be repaired in case I need it for walking in terms of my eyesight. This is a cane. I could use this one out in public. Does it make noise? Look how dusty. Can you see how dusty this is? Now you know why I'm wiping everything down. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? Huh? What do you think? Huh? That's kind of nostalgic, don't you think? That's too funny. Oh yes, it does make noise, see? Oh, maybe not anymore. It used to. What else is in here? Oh, that's a beautiful fan. When I was doing my, you see the spider webs? When I was doing my, I can't stand that. When I was doing my, fashion shows. I'm pretty sure that's what that is. Hold on. Aren't these, excuse me, aren't these the coolest things you've ever seen? After I clear off my table and everything, we'll get into them and we'll take a look. You can see better than me. Right. These are pattern makers. First flexible pattern with guaranteed for perfect fit. Right? You can see. You design your own patterns with these things. Right. Anyway, definitely keeping these up. Right? I took out all those things. Well, not all of them, but a lot of those. I already moved them. I'm moving them that way. They're you know, for outside or whatever, right? They'd be good in the event of an emergency where, you know, the hydro goes down, right? And you needed lighting more than anything. Those would be good for lights. Because they're those, you know, you hold them, right? And they have lantern oil inside with the wick. I've got some of those. And then I've got these long-ass candles, thick, right, on sticks. So, you know, that's good. So, and I was just looking at kerosene lamp oil or paraffin lamp oil because I do have some. And I do have old cooking oil that I'm saving just in case, right? You never know. And I bought glass cutters that I want to make our own lanterns. So maybe after the table's all cleared off and stuff, that's when I'll bring out the glass cutters. And, you know, I've got lots of bottles and just whatever, and we'll do that, right? You know, just, right? And we'll use the cooking oil or the old cooking oil that I have for it. And I bought the wicks and planned all this, people, as I was doing all that food prep. Right? It was like, just keep doing the food prep and you'll get through it, you know, work on the yard, you'll get through it, and then you'll have time to do things with your family that's, you know, of quality crafts, right? But I'm like, you know, in here, and I'm like, you know, this is sad. I said to Andre, this is so sad, what's going on with Nana here, you know, I'm trying not to be sad, but, and I'm not really sad, I'm just so disappointed in life, like, you know, I feel so cheated, like, these, oh, you know, the government is so corrupt and so hurtful and so harmful and so negligent with their workers, and they breed. Oh, they just breed everything negative. They lead you down the garden path and then they just push you over the edge once you get to it. And so anyway, I'm trying not to feel sad. So maybe that's why I figure if I just turn it back into an actual sewing room where, you know, I can do something. And needless to say, I have to move a lot of shit out of here because it's been more like a storage room than a sewing room, right, for sure. And obviously a war room. I pretty much got all the paperwork out of here, but by moving it out of here, I kind of scattered around the house, and there's things I can't find, and I know I have it, and I'm like, oh, just calm down. That'll be another day. That's when you sort out paper, and this is more important right now, right? You know, you've been working on paper for how many freaking years, and what the hell did it get you? Didn't get you anything. So anyway, I wiped in here. I'm just going to put these back into this little corner, and then when the sewing table is cleared off, that's when we'll get into those and look at them and see if we can use them or whatever. Put my rulers in here, you know, things that you use all the time for sewing, paper, right? I can put some of my I just had a whole whack of it. Different grades. Oh. Do you think I can remember what it's called? Interfacing. No, I'm going to keep my interfacing handy, so I'll probably put interfacing because I got a whole whack of it. But I want to see what's in here. I haven't looked in here in I don't even know how many years, people. Like, this is pathetic. You don't know how pathetic this is. Very, very pathetic. Let's see. Hold on. I don't have time to go through each and every can, but being that, it's been covered up for quite a long time, I'm just going to take a rag and wipe down quickly. I don't want to get too deep into it. All right, we'll just take a boo for now. Obviously, I'm looking for things that I can use with leather. All right, I don't remember what's in here. Obviously, there's labels as if I can read. What does that say? Eyelets. Eyelet tools. Oh, wow. There you go. Right. Eyelets. And then, of course, some things I never do. Label. I can't see, people. I can't even read that anymore. Anyway, you can see what's going on in here. So I want to make it available. All right. See, I can see that there's a jar there. Some kind of container. But I can't really see what's inside of it. You can see what's inside of it. I can't, though. All right. That looks like something I don't know. Anyway. So I was going to wipe that down a little bit. And that's for another day, maybe when the sewing room table is cleared off and we get into our auctions. I'm trying to think what I can do. I'm still debating about whether I want to renew even one class under the trademark for the United States. It'll cost me about $1,400 Canadian just to do one. So I'm like really debating, but I'd have to like really crunch the numbers and maybe not pay a couple of bills for 1 month. Just, bypass it. So I'm debating. I've got till December 22nd, I think, something like that, to make my final decision. So I have to go see the eye specialist soon. That costs money to get there and back, and I gotta go off and get some more animal fat today, and I'll be there at the grocery store and buying some yogurt and stuff like that, and just whatever. And oh God forbid if I run into a good deal when it comes to meat, like that beef the last time I went there, $5 a pound. I'd be tempted to pick up $100. And I'm like, well, yeah, but you got maybe to do this trademark. And I'm like, but, it's been 22 years, and so nobody's listening to you, and like, why are you doing it? And you've given away, given up, and sacrificed so much, as if another 10 years owning a trademark for anything under any class is going to make much of a difference in life. But we'll see. I'm thinking about it only because probably I'm in here and it's just a lot of broken dreams. Right? But then, blind people can do amazing things sometimes. So, maybe once I clear it out and get it all nicely just breathable and movable, and I mean, obviously I'm having a difficult time putting it someplace else, but, because you want to keep it kind of handy, whatever it is you're moving out of here. But some of these things, like those lanterns and stuff, they can go with the paraffin wax and the cooking oil and that kind of thing in storage, right? So that because the hydro went out for like 12 hours, and so you got to keep these things handy, because you just never know. Like, what would you do if it went out for a week? I'm like, oh, well, you'd be cooking your pressure canner outside, canning up meat that's in the freezer, so you better get up on it and start canning some of that meat. Yeah, just in case. That's the nice thing about canning. You don't have to worry. But you'd have to worry if the hydro went out and things got real cold and started to freeze. But then you just take some nice blankets and cover up your jars, and chances are they'll be fine. Yeah. Right, because they're insulated, right? And they're inside the house, but still it can get pretty cold depending on what time of year the hydro goes out. So anyway, I don't feel like, though I bought those for the yard for when I was working on the fire pit there, and I had visions of my family being a family and just, you know, doing videos and singing and playing guitar around the fire pit with the candle burning and just whatever, you know, just being a normal freaking family in Canada. But anyway, now it's just going into, so this is better. So what I like to do, so yeah, I'm just going to take a rag and just quickly wipe a few spider webs out. Not going to pull anything out today, that's another day. And then drop this back down, because that's what keeps a lot of the dust and the, you know, whatever's in the air when it comes to grease and moisture and that kind of stuff, right? So that's kind of cool. And then I'll just add in a few more things in here. I'm going to keep this drop because I want to get into my serger, right? Because I don't want to sew just with leather. There's other things I want to sew with too, right? So and then what happens is if I go get this animal fat, I like to do it the day I bring it home. Get it in the oven and into the crock pot. Right away. Because one, I don't have no room in my freezers. And two, I'm just getting it out of the way. Right? And then I probably won't. I don't. You have to freeze the lard if it's beef, and I have an idea where I can freeze this batch. I have some old cottage cheese that's sitting up in the freezer up here in the playroom. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it out and take them out and let them unthaw, and then see if I can dehydrate them, and that will make space for my pint-sized jars for this batch. And then after that, I don't know, maybe I'll just do pork, because I have a fair amount of beef until such time I can either start using it to make, you know, the pie dough and whatever I want, and yeah. Or I'm using the jars what I already have, because I've got a fair amount. But with the way the world is going, it's probably a good idea to do it a few more times and find a way to preserve the lard. Yeah. Okay, so hold on. Okay, so I think earlier I was in my sewing room this morning. What time is it now? Oh my, it's like 20 after 9 p.m. And I went off and I got some more beef fat and pork fat. So before I start that, I just wanted to show you this, because that's what happens when I go out to go get this stuff. I end up buying things. I'm always looking for deals too. You can see $1 off of each one. They were regular $4.99, so I got them for $3.99 each, and these are fresh today, and they're going in the dehydrator. Now I do have one that's unopened, but it's been in the fridge for a long time. So we're going to look at it, and if it looks okay, smells okay, tastes okay, it's getting dehydrated too. Otherwise, it's going into the compost for calcium. Okay. Chocolate is getting expensive. They had them at $8.99, $1 off, $7.99 on sale, and then these three had an extra $2 off, you can see. Anyway, I just thought I'd get those. Once we get this all cleared out of here and put away, we'll make some chocolate chip cookies, right? Okay, I got some pudding and stuff like that too. And then of course, I always look for extra salmon. In this situation, it's not sockeye. This one was pink salmon. Oh, don't ask me what it costed me. It was like almost $5 a can. But, you know, I just like to add on every time I go out. Now, I'm going to do this, so hold on. Do you see any mold on that?
No.
Absolutely none?
No.
No?
No.
Okay, because that's old. I bought that a long time ago.
That was it?
yeah, that's it. I just wanted to make sure, because if there was mold on it, you can't do nothing with it. Okay? But because there's no mold on it, it's never been opened. It's kind of like that whipping cream. Now we're going to taste it. Hold on. Andre. Did you see what happened here? Hold on. So, there you go. No good. Right? Now, I didn't swallow that. I just put it in my mouth and tasted it. And then I seen the, you can see what's going on here. Okay? So, pay attention to that. Hold on. Okay, so that's like working in a yard and getting crud in your mouth. You know, you're doing something, whatever, and it splashes and right? So, see, this is why it's important to have eyesight. It was because it was inside. Okay, that's like bread. If bread has mold on the outside, don't eat it. Okay, don't think you can eat it because the mold travels through the pores and it breeds on the inside. Well, same thing with cottage cheese. You've just seen that. So basically, I'm going to be doing this lard, right? So now I'm pretty sure I have dry cottage cheese, more than likely, some kind of cottage cheese, in the deep freeze up here. And it's been sitting there for a long time, right? So I'm going to pull those out, and I'm going to defrost them and check them, and more than likely I'm going to dehydrate them, because I need the room for the jars for the beef fat, right, to freeze. So when I ran in today with the cottage cheese on sale, and I was already planning on dehydrating whatever's in my freezer up here, right? And for the most part, I have to unthaw it and taste it first, because it's been there for a long time. This is, you know, you make pierogies with this stuff, or you can put it in with bread and stuff. It's good, right? But I just doing it this way. I'm trying it out. Hold on. Oh my! This is a lot of pork fat. Do you see how much is here? This is like a lot. That's not even including the beef he gave me. Oh boy. What time is it now? 9:30. So anyway, we'll work on cutting this up and get it starting to render. I don't know if I'm going to get to the beef tonight. It's hard to say. This is a lot. This is going to take a couple of hours. Boy, oh boy. Like 12:30 at night. I only did one bag. This is the pork, and I have another bag of pork. And then tomorrow, well, we'll see what happens. I'll have to do the beef, right? But there's only so much room to do these things, so anyway, that's a lot. Okay, so now it's the next day. It's like, what is it, November 13th of 2022. I'm thinking to maybe put this back up on YouTube here just because, right? You know, like, I don't know, people. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore, okay? I was working in the sewing room, but I had to pick up this animal fat yesterday, right? Because I had already booked an appointment. I waited 3 weeks for this, right? And I'm glad I did, but it's like anything, you know, you create work for yourself, right? So, what I want to do this time, let me turn this off a minute.
Googling right now. We almost met, so I understand, baby. As long as you come up here and, you know, let us know who you are, I'm definitely going to be looking for you. I will get you.
To make your computer pop faster now, you just have to press spacebar.
Oh, thank you, Andre. Okay. Alright. I'm going to upload this after this little whatever I'm doing here. And then I'm going to just pick up with the animal fat with the next video. And then try and worm my way back into the sewing room. I wanted to go outside for a little while today, but I still have to cut the beef. Oh my god. Cutting my finger here, cutting my finger over here. because, you know, can't see as well, and I'm using really sharp knives, and so I still have to do the beef. Right? This is just the pork I'm working with right now. And it was a lot of it. But the thing is, this time, because it's so much, right? And they didn't have the pint-sized jars that I like yesterday. I only bought a case of salmon jars because I still want to do that black cod, right? In the olive oil and the halibut or whatever it is that I've got in the freezer there. Anyway, halibut ends, okay? So I bought a case of jars for those salmon jars. This is a lot of pork fat. So I'm putting it in quart-sized jars just to speed it up. And then the tallow will go into pint-sized jars. I'm looking for a rag here, people. You know, when you start working with animal fats, things get greasy. Right? Touching grease. Anyway, I'm going to put the beef lard into pint-sized jars, and I have a case of that, so I'm good. But this pork, I'm kind of like, I cut it up. I was up till like 4 o'clock in the morning, 3:30 in the morning, cutting. Got it in the oven, went to sleep for a bit, got up, started doing whatever, and these ones I'm not putting in the fridge. Okay, all the other pork that I have, that I've been doing, is in Auntie Shimei's fridge. But these ones I'm doing different. I'm canning them in quart-sized jars for convenience because there's so much, right? Take up less space. And I know exactly where I want to put them, but I have to dig shit out. So when that time comes, I'll bring the camera and I'm going to show you how to look for those little nooks and crannies where it's cold. And Auntie Shimei's room can get pretty cold because my room is like really cold. And the closer you get to the floor, towards the north wall, the colder things get. So once they're in the jar, okay, and the jar is sealed, we'll do that again in the next video, just as a reminder. And then after, you know, you wash the jars, and, right, you label them, and then we'll go and take a boo in Auntie Shimei's room, and you're going to see how surreal it is in there, okay? Like, you go in there, and the air is just so surreal. It's like the greenhouse. It's just, it's like its own living entity, you know, that just wraps its arms lovingly around you. That's the feeling that I get when I go in there, right? And so anyway, I'm going to show you where I'm going to put it, pull everything out, and then I'm going to show you how I'm going to deal with it. These, and I'll probably do this again, okay? But it won't be until after the new year. It will be like in January or February or something, right? Because I know these will store really, really well, exactly where I'm going to put them. And so anyway, to start with, we'll do whatever we've got here, however many jars. And then, yeah. So I'm going to show you where I'm going to, you know, how I'm going to stack things with these in mind. So they don't have to go in the fridge. In other words, they'll be they should be shelf stable. Right? And because I'm putting them in a really cold place, dark, cold place, they should be perfectly fine, as if they were sitting in a fridge. Okay? And then, as soon as I'm done that, like, okay, so I got this pot. Look at this. That's all pork fat. That's a big pot. Now you know why I'm using quart-sized jars. We still have it here. And we still have in there. There we go. And we still have in here. Right? You can see. So what's going to happen is I'm going to end up putting this and that into there, clean everything, and then start working on the beef. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do for the next day or two, is I'll just be working pretty much around lard. I just have to. And then, it's out of the way, right? But because I'm not putting these in the fridge, even though I'm putting them in the cold place, I want to make sure that I don't get that little bit of water on the bottom, right? So, as much as I want to take what I've already strained twice, heat it up, put it into the jars, flip them over, seal them, put them away, I think it would be better just to go that little extra mile and take this whole pot and put it outside so it gets nice and cold, solidifies, flip it into another pot, look at the bottom, scrape off any water or gelatin or whatever that might be there, right? And then heat up, and then jar up, and then store, right? So this I have to go and put outside. Okay, that's because it's really cold outside, right? And then once that's done, I'm going to strain these again, like these ones, the new ones, new batch. Take the pot and start doing it again. And then take the animal fat, put it in all into the one, and then, I'll be just sitting down there, standing there, cutting beef, 2 big bags. And those ones I have to freeze. So I'm going into the freezer upstairs here, and I'm like I said already, I think there might be some frozen. Andre, turn it down. Some frozen cottage cheese or something like that I'm gonna unthaw and then dehydrate, right? And just so you know, if you don't know, okay, in this video you seen when I opened up that old container of cottage cheese, and Andre looked at the top and didn't see any mold, and because he didn't see it and I didn't move it around, I came along and grabbed it because I wanted to taste it before I thought I'd dehydrate it now, right? So I grabbed it, I put it in my mouth, I put my finger back down, and I can't see as well as I'd like to see, but clearly I could see something, right? I didn't know if that came from my finger, or if it came from the knife, or if it was inside the cottage cheese, right? Well, it turned out it was inside. It was molding on the inside. You didn't see it on the outside. There was nothing to indicate that there was mold there, right? So, in a situation like that, because it's so porous, like bread, mold travels, and that's when you just have to throw out everything, right? But I just want to remind people, for the ones that maybe heard it in passing a long time ago, but right? Like, if you have a block of cheddar cheese, for example, okay, and it's got mold on the outside of the cheese, this is where you can cut off a 1/4 inch, okay? It's got to be about a 1/4 inch, okay? Because mold can travel, right? It penetrates through the pores. But because cheddar cheese, is so dense, the mold itself can only grow so far. So if you cut it a 1/4 inch away from the mold, right? So you've got the mold on the outside, and then it's on the food. You take it from the food, and you cut off a 1/4 inch all the way around. Whatever's left behind, you can still eat. If you didn't know that, you know that, because I don't want to give quote-unquote YouTube misinformation. Right? Like, honestly, I don't even know what I was talking about in my sewing room, people. That, whatever I was talking about in the last little video here, it could get me another strike on YouTube. This is what I mean. Like, I'm afraid to put this up on YouTube. Andre, turn that down. Don't want to compete over freaking cartoons. I'm irritated. I've been going. I had a full day yesterday. I didn't get to sleep till 4:30 in the freaking morning. I got up and I started doing this. I'll be on my feet all day. So, I don't know what I'm talking about sometimes. I forget. You know, especially if I'm spacing out my videos. And this one has been going on for, what, 2-3 days now? Because, you know, I've been working in the sewing room, right? Like, I'm really making an effort to clear out. But as I'm clearing out, it's piling up. And I'm like, pfft, right? But I'm planning a blind woman's auction. Yeah. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it. Ask Tisha to help me. I should probably do through e-transfer or something like that. I have a old original post office weight scale that can go up to 25 pounds. There's a calculator that you can plug into on the computer to calculate how much shipping is through Canada Post, right? And, you know, I'm just going to play with it, people, and see if I can, you know, because as generous as I have been all these years, from beginning to when my shit ended up out in the freaking yard, right? And it just became a big free-for-all. You know, like, I shouldn't have to be put in that position because of my eyesight. That's just what's going to happen. My shit's just going to be given away, right? And tossed off to the side or whatever, right? Before I allow that to happen, I'm going to try and sell it. So I'm working on that. You know, I'm going to try and make it fun. I'm debating about how charitable I want to be in terms of, well, you know, you could make a small donation for everything that you sold to the foundation to keep that quote-unquote dream alive. But, you know, like, so I'm torn. It's like I'm torn between two worlds. What's new? I'm torn between the living and I'm torn between the dead. So there's really nothing new with being torn between two worlds. In terms of like that trademark and just, you know, like how far do I want to take it? And, you know, it's not like, you know, I mean, sure, it's nice to think that maybe I can do this or I can do that. But when it actually comes sitting down to do the web pages, to build up the website, to update the website, to keep that whatever torch aflame, you know, like I just, realistically, can I do it? It's not like anybody's stepping up to the plate to help me in terms of those kind of things, right? I mean, it will be enough just to try and get Tisha to help me to have these little auctions that I want, right? And I'll probably do them on Facebook or something like that. Do a live or something, right? I'm asking her about a cell phone and stuff because I thought maybe we could do it in the sewing room live, right? And she has a cell phone, so maybe we'll do that. Just for what sake, I don't know. But then I think of Alea May and, you know, Andre and the rest of my grandkids, Amari and Kyrie, and, you know, and I'm like, well, yeah, you kind of want to keep the dream alive because it's not fair to them that you dropped the ball, right? You know, just because it was hard for you and your kids, and you know, mine, right? I mean, we all started off on the right foot, and half of us are dead now, so what does that say about charity? It doesn't say too much, people, because it's the type of people that I'm around, and it's my environment. It's not God. It's the people that are like freaking, I don't know what they are, but they definitely don't believe in prosperity for all, that's for sure, right? And when you have that kind of, you know, mentality that you want for others, and it motivates you and stuff to do good and try and be good and just whatever, right? And you just always getting chopped down at the knees. After a while, you get to the point where you know, you really do begin to question charity, right? So I'm on the fence with it. Like if I do renew the trademark in December, it would only be one class out of 4, which will cost me about $1,400. So in my head, I'm kind of scrambling around where I can come up with it by not paying this bill, by not paying that bill, or whatever, right? You know, going into my overdraft, I'm sure I can cover $1,400, but to what end, right? You see, that's the thing, to what end, right? You know, it's not like YouTube, quote unquote, supports anything that I freaking fight for. Honestly, you know, I don't think so. So I'm, in one hand, I want to put the video up on YouTube just because I want to, you know, keep with the format and not drop the ball and, you know, and try and stay still positive regardless of what the issues are. But then on the other hand,
you know, I'm like, well, what did you say when you were in the sewing room? Maybe you said something that might get you into trouble and you'll get another fucking strike. So maybe you should just play the safe card. Don't be their bitch and just upload it on BitChute. But then on the other hand, you know, like there's that part of me that kind of wants to keep the foundation alive and, you know, keep something alive. I don't know what the hell I'm trying to keep alive here. Not that I'm keeping anything alive, but, you know, like it's beyond hope. There is no such thing as hope anymore. I don't think hope is ever, you know, what the hell is hope? Hope is nothing. Hope is a false sense of rescue. You know, this is where, you know, where it says in the Bible somewhere that, you know, God helps those who help themselves. This is why I do this stuff with the lard and those kind of things, because I figure, you know, I'll give it 3 years from now. Maybe my son or my daughter don't appreciate what I'm doing when it comes to this lard. But let's say in 3 years or 4 years from now, animal lards and any kind of oils and all that stuff either becomes just way too expensive to buy, or it's not around because, you know, the food chain keeps falling apart little by little. That's when my kids will appreciate my efforts. Right? And then you have to think about where your mentality is going to be in terms of, well, are you going to be, like, assuming that I can even do anything, that is. 4 years, 3 years, for me, is like a century. It's too far away for me to say, yeah, oh, yeah, I'll be able to see what I'm doing in 4 years from now, no problem, right? It's like, you know, it's all good, right? I'll be lucky to see anything in 4 years from now. But I'd have the satisfaction of knowing that my kids have lard to make pie with. Right? That's what else can I make? Pastry, right? Or fry anything, fry something in it, and whatever it is you're going to do, right? You know, make soap if you had to, right? But I took care of the soap department, right? That will be another video coming up here real soon. We're going to try another little experiment here. Okay, so anyway, with soap, that is. So you know, like, put this up on YouTube and for what cause? For what? For what, people? For what? Like, why do you know why? Other than to make it convenient for people. You know? Hold that group, right, tight, you know? It gets kind of dispersed when it gets to BitChute, and you're just kind of sitting up on BitChute, right? I don't know. What am I trying to accomplish here, right? That's... I don't know what I'm trying to accomplish, people, other than I do what I think is best. So I think what is best is considering where I'm going to store these jars. If they were going in the fridge and just sitting in the fridge for however long, then fine, yeah, I'd just go straight from the pot into the jar and put it in the fridge. And if I had a little bit of something underneath, yeah, so be it. But these ones are going in a totally different spot. Probably just as cold as the fridge in light of where I'm going to put them. But at the end of the day, I want to make sure they're nice. So I'm going to put this outside, let it get solidified, just move along, and then I'll at some point come back, show you where I'm at, and then we'll just pick up with whatever it is that I'm doing in a day. It should be interesting to see how long I can see for, right? Or what I can accomplish between now and the time when the lights go out. Because, you know, it's like, you know, you're entering a brave new world, right? Yeah, you know, it's a weird feeling, and I'm so encompassed, right, with sadness. Oh, you don't know. You just don't know. But I tell myself, don't be sad, right? Just try not to be sad. You know, sadness is normal to some degree in life. There's, you know, but at the end of the day, you can't let it take you over, right? And distract you away from the things that you need to do.
So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to focus on this, and I don't know, should I put this up on YouTube? Just to show YouTube that I can get back up on that horse? That they didn't run me out of town yet? That just as much as they can whip at me, I can whip right back at them, as if I'm doing any kind of whipping. I'm not trying to, because at the end of the day, you know what the master can do to the slave, right? And it's always the master that has the upper hand. And I am definitely not the master of YouTube and their staff. You see, that's the thing. Somebody on their staff stalks my channel and me, okay? And they get off on trying to hurt my family. Okay? YouTube as a corporation, it's just a name, but it's the staff that are the problem, right? In combination with YouTube as a, you know, a government owned and operated, I don't know what it, you know, I don't want to say spy system, but it's I don't know, something. It's something. Okay, so I'm going to end this video and just get on with it.